Welcome to this tutorial on implementing the strategy design pattern. Today, we're building a tiny library system that showcases how this design pattern solves real-world design challenges. Let me introduce our scenario. We need a library system that manages different types of items: books, magazines, DVDs, games, or audiobooks, and tracks who has checked out what. It sounds simple, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Our requirements include checking items and returning them, tracking loans and supporting different loan periods. Books get 2 weeks, DVDs get 1 week. Most importantly, we need to add easily new item types like audiobooks or games without touching our core checkout logic. And those loan periods, they need to be configurable, not hard-coded. The challenge is avoiding the classic trap of giant if-else statements scattered throughout our code. Imagine if every time we add a new item type, we have to modify multiple methods, hunt down all the conditional logic, and risk breaking existing functionality. That's a maintenance nightmare waiting to happen. Now, this is exactly where the strategy pattern shines. The strategy pattern is about encapsulating algorithms, and in our case, loan policies, and making them interchangeable at runtime. Here's the core idea. Instead of embedding loan rules directly in our checkout service, we define a common interface that all loan policies must implement. Then we create separate strategy classes for each type of loan rule. Our checkout service depends only on the interface and not on the concrete implementations. Why is this perfect for a library system? First, it eliminates those nasty if-else chains by moving each rule into its own focused class. Second, it makes extending the system trivial. Just create a new strategy and register it. Third, it keeps our core circulation logic stable while allowing loan behaviors to vary independently. The strategy pattern follows the open-closed principle, where our system is open for extension but closed for modification. We can add new item types without changing a single line of existing code. So let's dive into the implementation and see how each component of the strategy pattern works in our system. So first, our strategy interface, loan policy. It defines the contract that all loan strategies must follow. And it has two key methods: the can check out to determine if a loan is allowed, and compute due date to calculate when the item is due back. Next are concrete strategies: the book loan policy and the DVD loan policy. So the book loan policy implements the 14-day rule for books, and the DVD loan policy handles the 7-day rule for DVDs. The duration loan policy provides a configurable option where we can specify any number of days. Notice how each strategy is focused and testable. It does one thing. Now, the heart of our pattern. Our client, the circulation service, is where the magic happens. Instead of hard-coding loan rules, it maintains a registry that maps item types to their appropriate strategies. When someone checks out an item, the service looks up the right strategy and delegates the due date calculation to it. The beauty is in the checkout method. It's the same code path regardless of item type. The service gets the item, finds the appropriate strategy, asks if checkout is allowed, computes the due date, and creates the loan. The strategy handles the specifics, and the service handles the workflow. Now let's see our strategy pattern in action. I've prepared a demonstration that shows how the same checkout method produces different behaviors based on item type. First, let me show you the strategy registration process. Here you can see I'm mapping different item types to their appropriate policies. Books get the 14-day policy, DVDs get 7 days, games get 3 days, and references get just 1 day. Each registration creates the connection between item type and its loan strategy. So when I run the demo, I'm calling the exact same checkout method for different items, but look at these due dates in here. The book checkout returns January 29th. That's exactly 14 days from our test date of January 15th. The DVD gets January 22nd, precisely 7 days later. The game gets January 18th, just 3 days. Same method signature, same workflow, completely different behaviors. And then here's where the strategy pattern gets really impressive. So it's extensible. In this next section, you'll see me add a completely new item type. So I added an audiobook policy for 21 days, and I added a test audiobook item, which is The Hobbit. Then immediately, without any code changes, without recompilation, I can check out that audiobook and get February 5th as the due date. That's 21 days from our test date. So things that didn't happen here, I didn't modify the circulation service. I didn't add any else statements or touch any existing strategy classes. The system just accepted the new type and handled it perfectly. This demonstrates the strategy pattern's core promise, which is true extensibility without modification. Let's wrap up by discussing the real-world benefits and trade-offs of using the strategy pattern in our library system. The benefits are compelling. We've eliminated branching logic, no more giant if-else statements that go with every new item type. Our system is also genuinely extensible, like how I added the audiobook required zero changes to existing code. Each loan policy is independently testable, making our system more reliable. As far as trade-offs go, we've increased complexity. What could have been a simple if-else statement now involves multiple classes and interfaces. For a truly tiny system with just books, this might feel like over-engineering. There's also runtime overhead from the strategy lookup. The debugging experience, it also becomes more complicated. Tracing through a checkout now involves multiple classes and interface boundaries. The key insight, the strategy pattern is an investment in future flexibility. If the loan rules are simple and stable, the pattern might be overkill. But if you expect frequent changes or complex business rules, the upfront complexity pays dividends in maintainability and extensibility. The pattern transforms your system from rigid and branching to flexible and extensible.